Hey, this is Cedric from Vertex Marketing Agency, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a Facebook lead generation campaign. I'm going to take you through the entire process. So we're talking about campaign, ad set, ads, how to create your Facebook form, but I'm also going to show you how you can automate the process. So when a lead submits that form, we're going to send the data to a Google Sheet just so that you can see all the leads that have submitted that form. But then on top of that, I'm going to show you how you can send an email notification to yourself or maybe someone on your team so you can get notified when a new lead comes in, so you can, pick up maybe the phone and call them right away. So we've got lots to cover. Let me share my screen and we'll get started. Okay, so I am now inside Ads Manager, and I'm going to click the green button right here on the campaign level to create a new campaign. Now this is a lead generation campaign, so I'm going to select the option lead right here. I'm going to hit continue. Now I'm going to be on the campaign level. I'm just going to give it the default name. And then if ever you are in a special ad category, then you can add here. So for example, let's say you're a realtor and you have a few property that you want to sell and you want leads for that, then you can select housing. Really important that you do that if you're in the special ad category. If not, you're going to get your ad account disabled. I'm actually not going to touch anything here. I'm going to go to the ad set level. So on the ad set level, you want to make sure that the instant forms option is selected and not the website or any other really conversion location, because in this video, we're going to be covering the instant forms. So the main difference between instant forms and, let's say, website is that instead of bringing the user to your landing page or to your website, we're actually going to be creating a Facebook form that kind of looks like a landing page, but the user will actually never leave the Facebook platform. And there's actually a few different benefits of doing something like that. I would say the main one is that you're going to get more overall leads. So what I notice all the time is that when I use an instant form, I usually get more leads. But when I drive them to, let's say, a landing page, I get less leads, but they're usually a little bit better quality. But sometimes having more leads means you have more conversations, and it could also potentially means that you can close more leads. But this option is also really good. Let's say if you're just getting started with Facebook ads and you don't have a landing page specifically for your Facebook ads, and maybe the instant form is going to perform better than just bringing them to your regular homepage. So this is definitely where the instant form has an advantage. And another thing is, well, there's no tracking needed. So you can just build the instant form, the user fills it up, and it all happens inside the Facebook platform. So you don't need to worry about tracking. Facebook takes care of all that. So there's a few other benefits of using the instant form, and there's also other benefits of using the website. What I usually say to company is that try them both and then see if there's maybe one that works better for your company. But I've definitely seen a lot of success with the instant forms. That's why I actually wanted to make a video about that. So now you're gonna go here and just select your Facebook page. So I'm just gonna grab my company's Facebook page right here, and I'm gonna keep scrolling down. This is where you can put in your budget. I'm just gonna just give it a budget of $100 a day. Right now we're in the ad set level, so this is where I'll actually set up my audience. So usually when I set up a lead form, I do this a lot for I would say local companies. So if ever, again, you're a realtor or you just have a local company, what I'll actually recommend that you do is that you simply put in, let's say, your city. So let's say you're in New York, you put in here as a location. So I can edit this and just type here, New York, and I'm picking the city. And then, I can say, okay, well, usually if they're within 25 miles of my company, then, it's not too far. Like they can make the trip, or I can make the trip potentially. But this really depends on your company. But maybe you have a service where it actually doesn't really matter the location as long as they're paying, right? They could be in Canada, they could be in the United States, they could be in Australia. So this really depends, again, on your company structure. But I'm going to pretend that you're a local company, and that's the way I'm going to set it up. So if you're a local company, I would actually recommend that you just leave the location here. And what I mean by that is that here under, let's say, the age, the gender, and then even like the detailed targeting where you can add interest and all that fun stuff, I would actually leave this broad. So 18 to 65 plus, all genders, and then no interest or anything like that. And if ever you've never heard anyone saying something like that, it might sound a little bit weird that wait, you can target and you can pinpoint people that have specific interests. Like, why are you not doing that? Well, especially with the lead generation campaign, well, there's no issues with tracking. So Facebook will actually be able to track all the leads that fill up the form. And then what they do is, it's a little bit like with the pixel. And if you've seen some of my other videos about sending as much data as possible to your Facebook pixels that Facebook can learn, well, Facebook is actually gonna do the same thing, but now without the pixel, because again, it's their own platform. So they know who clicks on your ad and who converts. So what they do is they'll actually create like some sort of like lookalike audience, and then they'll show your ads to other people that are just like the ones that have already submitted the form. So by leaving it broad, you're basically just letting Facebook do its thing. And then you have to monitor a little bit more at this point, the creatives, and then potentially your forms. And then there's also different like form strategy, which I'll get into that in just a few minutes. But I would recommend you leave it broad, especially if you're local. If you're all across the United States or worldwide, then you might want to play with different interests, but even then, honestly, a broad audience works really, really well. And then now I can just go on the ad level. Okay, so now I have my Facebook pages connected. It's also connected to my Instagram account. Then I would go here, I would upload an image, I would potentially upload my video. I can add some primary text here. I can add a headline. I can add some description. I would recommend that you go and you add potentially like 2 different primary texts. So 1, and then let's say 2. And in case you're not too sure, the primary text is what appears at the top of the ad, okay? The headline is right here. And then the description is usually like underneath the headline. And then you can set it up, like you can set up your call to action, depending, if it's they need to sign up for something or if they need to like maybe learn more. This is where you're gonna pick the proper call to action. I usually like sign up or maybe get quote if it's, if when they submit the application, it means they're getting a quote. You could potentially change it to get quote. Now, if we go down here, this is where we're gonna create the form. So I'm gonna click on this. And then at this point, you have 3 options. You have more volume, higher intent, and then custom. I strongly recommend that you start with more volume. This is basically just gonna mean that you're gonna get more leads. But like I said earlier in this video, you're gonna get more leads and let's say bringing them to your website. Obviously this varies, you might actually get more leads on your website, but usually you get more leads when you do the instant form. But then when you select the option more volume, you get even more leads than if you were to select on the higher intent. But you will get more maybe tire kickers, right? So you're gonna get a lot more leads, but not all leads will be qualified. Just keep that in mind. But especially if you're just getting started, maybe with Facebook, like at this, you just want to talk to people, you just want to get some feedback, you want to see if it works, if Facebook is the right platform for you, definitely more volume. Now, once you've selected this option, you're gonna go to intro, and this is where I recommend that you actually upload your own image. Don't use the image from your ad. Go ahead and go maybe in your software of choice, like maybe Canva, and use the image size 1200 by 628 pixels, and then go ahead and upload your image. It's gonna show up right here at the top. Now you can scroll down and give it a headline. So, that would be my headline right here. And I usually will try to explain a little bit like what I'm offering. So let's say you're a realtor, like maybe you wanna describe a specific property that you have, or maybe it's a whole list of properties or lands. Well, you want to give it a short description here just so that people know like what are they signing up for, or maybe what are they getting a quote for, just in case the ad wasn't super clear. Okay, so give it a good description. I'm just gonna say test here, and then here, this is where you select your question. So if I scroll down, this is where we have those questions, but they're actually going to be pulling from the user's information. So the email, Facebook already has the user's email because anyone that signs up for a Facebook account, they need to give Facebook their email. So that's actually going to be pulling that email. And then same thing with the first name and last name. I usually like to remove the full name because usually the way my CRMs works is that it's first name and then last name. So I'm just going to select that. And then I don't know why, but I always like to add the first name, last name, email, like in that order. And then I'll go and let's say I'll add the phone numbers. So first of all, you got to decide like what is the information that you need to collect to maybe give them a quote or maybe get in contact with them. I would recommend to ask as less questions as possible. So just ask for the bare minimum. It's like don't ask them for their city, the zip, and all that information if you don't really need it, okay? So I usually ask for the first name, last name, email, and phone number. And I think it's really important to ask for the phone number because I'm gonna recommend that you actually give those leads a phone call. Obviously, this is gonna depend on your business structure. Some businesses just you know, there's just something that they can't really do just because they don't have the team and the staff to make those calls, but it will definitely increase your conversion rate if you can actually call those leads. That's pretty much it for the, like, I guess the predefined question. You can give a little description here, like, I don't know, add your contact info. And then at the top, you can actually add other questions. So you can add like potentially a multiple choice, right? And then you can, you know, maybe like you have 2 different options with your question right here. You could potentially add like a short answer, like, hey, for example, give me your website, or what is your budget for this property, right? So you can ask these types of questions here, and then they're gonna answer it, and then you're gonna have all that data in that Google Sheet. The Google Sheet is gonna be like your database. And I'm giving Google Sheet as an option because I know not everyone has like your custom CRM, but if you have your custom CRM and it integrates with the Facebook like lead generation or the lead form, then go ahead and you can just send that data there. But this is where you could ask your questions. I'm just gonna delete that because I'm not gonna be asking custom questions, but definitely if you need to ask them, this is where you would do it. So let's keep scrolling down. So you actually need a privacy policy. So I'm just gonna go and grab my homepage as my privacy policy, but go ahead and add your privacy policy there. So I'm just gonna say privacy. And then you can even add a custom disclaimer if you want. I usually don't add that unless, you know, legal team says, hey, we definitely need that. And then here, this is like your last page. So if you look here, there's like little arrows and you can move from page to page. So this is like the, I guess, the landing page where you're gonna have your little thumbnail here, a good headline, and then some sort of like information about what this form is all about. And then here, this is where you can ask your questions. Number 3, this is a privacy policy. And then number 4 is going to be like your thank you page. So what I recommend companies to do is just actually give them a call as soon as they like submit their information, and I'll add something in the headline like thank you, you'll receive a call from someone from our team shortly, something like that. And then if you want, you can actually link to your website, or you can give them the option to actually call you. So, and they're on Facebook right now, so they definitely have free time. So you have the option to just get them to call you right away. So you can say call business, and you can just put in your phone number right here, and then like a little call to action like call me now. I'm actually just gonna click on view website. I'm gonna add my link here. I'm just gonna say website here. Guys, it's probably one of the worst forms I've ever built. I hope your form is way nicer than this. But once you're happy with this, you can actually go ahead and publish. So this is the worst form I've created, but it's now published. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to send that to the Google Sheet. So this is my Google Sheet CRM. And I'm gonna leave that link in the description of this video in case you just wanna make a copy. Basically, it has like a sheet here for all the leads, and then for people that are interested, it brings them to another sheet called interested, and we have close won deals, not interested, and then maybe not qualified. If you wanna save some time, instead of creating your own Google Sheet, like I said, you can just copy it. So now I'm gonna go to Zapier, and then what I want to do is I want to do Facebook lead ads. Now this is a premium trigger, or it's a premium ZAC, because Facebook lead ads is just like, it's part of like their premium apps. Now I'm recommending Zapier because I use Zapier all the time, but feel free to use a different software. Or like I said earlier in this video, maybe your CRM already integrates with Facebook. So if you're using, let's say, HubSpot, or maybe you have like a call tracking software or something like that, maybe it actually already integrates with Facebook, and you just maybe have to Google it and say, hey, like, here's my software, does it integrate with the Facebook lead ads? And if it does, then you can potentially not use Zapier. But Zapier is one option. You can also, I believe, use like Make.io, which is a Zapier alternative. It's also a little bit cheaper, but I'm gonna be using Zapier for this video. Now I'm selecting this as my trigger. Now the event is when there's a new lead. I'm gonna hit continue. Now I just need to connect to my account. I'm gonna choose my page. So I just chose my page, and I'm gonna say on any form. So it doesn't matter what form it is, it's just gonna send the data to Google Sheet. You can narrow down to a specific form, but usually I just leave it to any form. Now I'm just gonna try to pull some data. If it can't, it's gonna create some dummy data. Usually that's what it does. So perfect. So yeah, it just created some dummy data. Now I can hit continue. Now I wanna send the data to my Google Sheet. So I'm gonna type Google Sheet. And I'm gonna choose an event, and then it's gonna be create a spreadsheet row. I'm gonna hit continue, and I'm gonna just connect to my account. So this is my drive. I'm gonna choose a spreadsheet, and then This is right here, my CRM template. And in my worksheet, I want to send this to this one right here where it says all leads, because that's where I want to send all my leads. So I'm going to select all leads, and then this is going to pull in all the different fields that we have here. So the date is going to be whenever this lead was created. So it's probably going to be the created time. Now the first name is going to be the first name. I also have last name. And then I would have the email right here. Phone number. And in case you've never used Zapier before, right now we're basically like training Zapier. We're telling Zapier like, hey, whenever you get a lead inside Facebook, like for them, like created time. For us in our Google Sheet, this means date. So now Facebook understands like Facebook's language, and it understands the language that we use on our Google Sheet. And then every time there's like a new value under created time, it's gonna know that this actually means a date. So we're kind of like, yeah, training Zapier so it knows how to send the data to our Google Sheet. So that's pretty much it for this, or what I'm gonna add. Obviously I can add more. Like I was actually used to use this CRM template for a client. This is why you have like comment, source, and then we've even built this thing out where the sales rep could say like you could add, hey, this is the first point of contact, second point of contact. So this is actually a really good like CRM alternative. So if you actually want to use that, you're more than welcome to use it. So now I'm gonna hit continue, and I'm just gonna test action. I want to make sure that the data actually gets sent to my Google Sheet. And we should see some data. Perfect. So the background's gray, but if I remove that and I just change the text to black, you can see that the data was actually sent to our Google Sheet. Now, if I go here and let's say I were to publish it, every time there's a new lead that submits my Facebook form is going to get added to the Google Sheet. So the Google Sheet is going to be like a great way for us to see how many leads we got. Obviously, we can always look at our metrics inside Ads Manager, but if we want to see like, okay, well, here are all the emails that we have, here are the first name, last name, I find that the Google Sheet is a great like database to look at all that information. But we're not done yet, right? Now we're just adding the data to the Google Sheet, but you want to get notified when you get a new lead, right? Because you need to call them or you need to contact them. So I'm going to add another step. I'm going to say email. We're going to use Gmail, sorry. If ever you don't have Gmail, you can probably select Outlook or whatever the platform you're using. Honestly, Zapier integrates with most software. And we're going to select send email. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to choose the account. I'm going to use my account here. Hit continue. And then the action here, this is who you want to send this email to. So if you're going to be the one handling the leads, you know, so you can send it to yourself. So I'm just going to send this to demo@gmail.com. You can always add another email or CC someone. And then from, I don't know, you can say yourself, or maybe from is, maybe it's from Facebook. And then what I'll do here is under the subject, I'll just say like Facebook new lead. And then the body, I'll say new lead. And then what I think is really cool with Zapier is now we can do this. So we can do first name, and then we can pull the value from the Google Sheet, and we can say like, hey, first name here. And then we can do like last name, and then we can pull the last name, and then I'll just do email. And then I can go here and select the email. So like, that's pretty cool. So now you or your rep, when they open up that email, like they're going to see okay, cool. Like I got a notification, I have a new lead. Now here's the first name, here's the last name, and then here's their email and maybe phone number so that they can contact them right away. But that's a great way for you to just pass the lead so that whoever is handling the leads can just go and get in contact with them right away. And then even sometimes what I'll do is like, I'll add the link of the Google Sheet. So I'll just go and copy the link of the Google Sheet, and I'll add that in that email so that if ever the rep just needs to access the entire database for whatever reason, they just can easily do so, right? So just, just saving them a few seconds. But yes, that's pretty much it for the automation process. Now what I have to do is just continue, test it, and I can publish my Zap. And then literally every time there's a new lead coming in from Facebook, it's gonna add it to the Google Sheet, and then B, someone on your team or maybe you is gonna receive an email notification so that you know that you just got a new lead, and then now you gotta contact them. But guys, give this strategy a shot. Like I said, this works really, really well for a lot of companies. And it's a great way to just get started with Facebook ads without like a huge upfront investment, like a landing page, setting up tracking, and all that kind of fun stuff. So give this a shot. And don't forget that at the end of the day, what will really help you with your results is not just a strategy like this. That's definitely part one, but it's also like just having really good and solid creatives. And if you want to learn more about that, you can definitely check out our other videos that we have on the channel. And if you'd like help setting this up, or with your creatives, or maybe even with your tracking, we do have coaching and consulting services. I'll leave the link in the description of this video, so you can just go ahead and book a call with us to learn a little bit more about that service. But guys, that is it for this video. Hopefully you've learned something new, and I'll see you in future videos. Bye for now.